What was an unexpected gut punch moment you struggled to forget? During a company reorg, I looked over my emails one evening and saw I was invited to a meeting to discuss my new position. This would mean a promotion. I had a beer that evening and just enjoyed the moment. So many times I get a win and keep on rolling past them. I rarely take time to enjoy wins, and this one felt worthy. I went to work the next morning and could not find the calendar invite. Checked deleted items, spam and everything else. I had not accepted it the previous night and planned to the next morning with a reply. I figured it got moved, and so I waited a couple weeks expecting another invite. Nothing. At the Christmas party I got a chance to talk to a person that was also on the email, and they said it got recalled and rescheduled. Him and the other guy on the invite got the promotion. He got awkward when he realized that I never got an invite after the recalled invite. I was 19 or so when I packed up and moved in with my then girlfriend 3.5 hours away from my hometown. Had been together over a year long distance and would spend every bit of my free time driving out to see her and what I was led to believe was our daughter. Once she was pregnant for a second time, I made the move. About 6 months later I came home from work and her and the girls were gone. Just left long letter explaining they were never mine and that I was essentially just a placeholder until the guy she really wanted was out of jail. Took DNA tests to confirm neither kid was mine as well. I'm 36 now and it still hurts like it happened an hour ago. My brother took his own life. 6 days later my mom was told her cancer had returned. I've been constantly accused of cheating, and then I found out that I was the one being cheated on. Went through a rough time after breaking my back. My mental health was bad cause I just couldn't even walk anymore, and had a huge fight with my mother in which I told her that on occasion I wish I had died instead of just injured. She said, "Me too." She then realized what she has said and broke down crying and apologized, and I don't blame her. I wasn't easy at the time, given that I lost the ability to walk as a 27 years old man. But still, I carry it with me. I got a call from my long-term girlfriend's sister who told me that she was cheating on me. I called and texted my girlfriend frantically, even showed up at her house, but she wasn't there, so I ended up writing a note and leaving it at her house, breaking up with her. My girlfriend called me in tears a couple hours later saying she had no idea what her sister had told me, but that she'd been out spending the day with her mom, and she later showed me pictures to prove it. Turned out her sister hated me so much that she was willing to lie to break us up. The whole experience was miserable. I had just gone through a broken engagement and had just been laid off, so I started reaching out to my network for job opportunities. A friend connected me with a vice president at his company, and we met for lunch. The VP said, "You're probably pretty smart, but you appear to have been mediocre in all your roles. I took this lunch as a courtesy to mutual friend, but I don't hire mediocre people." That was the gut check I needed. When I reached VP status at my company, I had a sign made that says mediocre, and I look at it every day as a reminder of how I want to someday bury that bum. The moment my stepdad told me that my brother had unlived himself. I was working at Red Lobster, and it was about 7:30 on an extremely busy Saturday night when a hostess found me and said I had an emergency phone call. I just collapsed. When my manager noticed that I was sitting on the floor by the hostess stand, he asked me what was going on. I mumbled that my brother had just shot himself, and the man dragged me to my feet, pulled me sobbing back to the office and held me until someone could find my wife, who was also working there that night. He passed me off to her, reshuffled the entire floor and work schedule for the next 2 weeks and told me to go to my family. To this day, I'd strangle a dachshund puppy for that man, but in those few first moments, I couldn't even breathe. The wife saying she wants an open marriage, which instantly led to divorce. I wasn't having that, and she wasn't going to not have it. So, bye. I'm guessing there was someone she already had in mind? I found later on that it had already happened. She was trying to justify it and keep going. She pretty much wanted to play housewife during the week, and nasty on the weekends. Spent 12 years of my life believing my abusive mum when she said that my dad wasn't a nice man, and that's just why we had to separate. Very interesting for us to get in a somewhat deep conversation and me saying I still can't for the life of me figure out why you and dad split. The stories I hear make no sense, and then her response being, yeah. I cheated on your dad. I had already been moved out and living with my dad for a year at that point, but holy did she just slams a nail in the we aren't friends once I'm out of here coffin and me finally realizing my dad isn't a bad person. I felt incredibly guilty for hating my dad for so long, got to talking and I've now never had someone I've been closer to in my family in my whole life. Planning on going to Europe when I graduate with him, going to a George Ezra concert together and we go do Aussie stuff every month or so. Me happy. When I was 13, Mom dropped Dad to the hospital for his yearly routine checkup. 40 minutes later as she is coming through the front door the hospital called the landline to inform Dad is no more. Sudden heart attack. Mom couldn't even believe the news because she just dropped him off.